Welcome to part 2 of this recording. If you missed part 1, just look in the comments in the video description area. You should get a link to part 1, and then you can be able to be up to speed with what we're discussing here. Anyway, now my advice to NASA supporters and my advice to the rest of Kenyans, okay? Do not return hate with hate. Yes? Do not return hatred. If somebody hates you, do not hate them back. Okay? This is even in the Bible. But apart from being in the Bible, it is just common sense. Yeah? Why do I say it's common sense? Okay, so and so hates me, and because they hate me so much, I hate them back. And then, what next? Yeah? So it just continues hatred forever and ever. Yeah? And even your children and your children's children will suffer from it. No. Kenyans, let's be a bit more intelligent than that. Okay? There's hatred being spewed out by the likes of Moses Kuria. The best way to deal with it is the Mahatma Gandhi style. Mahatma Gandhi never repaid back hatred for hatred. He never repaid back violence for violence. Yeah? He lifted himself to a higher level. Yeah? Just Google Mahatma Gandhi and go read his story. An amazing human being. Okay? So even when we have hate for nothing, let us understand a few things. And it's good for us to be able to understand what's going on. It's very important that we understand exactly what's going on, so that as we react with wisdom. Because hate for hate will get you nowhere. It could even get you killed. I'm serious. Yeah? So wacha tutumia akili, yeah, instead of being emotional about this thing. Okay? Now first of all, take careful note of where all this hate against those people who did not vote for Jubilee is coming from. Okay? Take careful note of that. It's coming from Kiambu. Okay? Now those of you who have bothered to listen to my recordings concerning something called the Jomo Kenyatta oaths, yeah, will know that the center where these oaths were being taken was Kiambu. Now there's something else you need to take careful note of. These oaths were being administered to a large part of the population, number one. Number two, these oaths were being administered by force. Yes? In fact, we have it from an authority that those who refused to take these oaths of Jomo Kenyatta, some of them were killed. Yeah, it was a serious thing. Okay? So, having told you that, you also need to know that oaths are guarded, and they will react, and those oaths will react in courts if they are threatened. What am I saying? When somebody takes an oath, they actually pour blood, and there's some demons involved, yeah? And those demons protect whatever it is the oath has been taken. Yeah? Now, it should be very clear that at the moment this oath is under threat. And it will also be very clear, anybody who did not vote for Jubilee is threatening this oath. Yeah? Jijazie, I know you're all intelligent people. Although I know a lot of us believe oaths are nothing, they mean nothing. So what's the sum total of all this? The sum total of all this is that we have we have a vast majority of Kenyans who are feeling, they have some certain feelings. They're behaving in a certain way, and they do not even understand why they're behaving like that. And these are normal intelligent people, yeah? And actually, as I've said here before, it is not them talking, it is the oath talking. Okay? And then of course we have leaders, yeah, like Moses Kuria, who their work is to spread hate speech, and their work is to show Kenyans that the NCIC, National Cohesion and Integration Commission, is nothing, and it means nothing to him. He can say what he wants and nothing will happen to him. Yeah? So how do we react? The rest of Kenyans, you react with knowledge. You know this is an oath, you know it's a spiritual thing. You cannot fight a spiritual thing physically. Therefore, if somebody hates in the spirit, you cannot try and hate them back in the physical. Okay? So we note all these things and we become intelligent about it. We just ignore them. We say no to those people who want to start violence in Kenya. We say no to those people who want to provoke Kenyans into violence and all sorts of things. We just say no to them. Yeah? And instead, the rest of Kenyans should focus on a better Kenya. Okay? First of all, the secession thing, I don't think there's been a better time, yeah, or better reasons for us to push forward this agenda. That the country be divided into two, yeah, so that Moses Kuria and company can have their own country, yeah. Then they will not need to talk about certain people voting for against what they want, yeah, because all the citizens of their country, because I mean, in that case, what will happen is that those people they hate will be foreigners in that country, and therefore they will not be eligible to vote. Yeah, simple. Okay, and even more important, those supporters of NASA should focus on their campaign, yeah, for the presidential elections that's coming very soon. Okay, now you know one of the things about emotions affects your judgment. I think you should know that. When you have emotions, you stop thinking. Okay, and when you stop thinking, it's not good, because NASA have to do a lot of thinking. They're in a very tight corner, okay? For them to win these elections against the massive fraud that was committed against the Kenyan people, they will really need to engage their brains. So in my view, just ignore Moses Kuria. Ignore whatever he writes on social media. Understand that it's not Moses Kuria speaking, it's the Jomo Kenyatta oath speaking, and just ignore it, okay? Pray for him, yeah? Remember Moses Kuria in your prayers. Remember all these people who are spewing hatred, remember them in your prayers. Yeah? As I've told you, it's not them speaking, it's the oath speaking. And of course, I have no doubt that there are evil people within there. Pray for them. What does the Bible tell us? Pray for your enemies. Don't get involved emotionally. Okay? Kenyans are better than this. Kenyans are better than being reduced down to tribal fighting. Ini nini? What will we gain? Absolutely nothing. Okay? So just ignore. Let the guy keep on talking. He'll get tired of talking when he notices that people are not reacting. Yeah? You know what makes him excited is that he knows when he talks, people will react. And I guess he likes the attention. Just totally ignore the guy. Now, I've really hesitated before sharing this because it's very deep. Yeah? And only those who are deep will be able to understand it. Now, the nation of Israel was described a few decades ago as a nation with 4 million people, surrounded by 400 million hostile people. Yeah? People are against the existence of this nation. Okay? Now, at the same time, we are told that the Israelis have an option called the Samson option. You know the story of Samson in the Bible? Yeah? The way he finished the enemies and himself. Yeah? He used his strength. He was taken to pillars. He was even blind at that time. Yes? And then he pushed pillars and brought a whole building down, killing so many of his enemies and himself in the process. Okay? Now, so everybody knows what the Samson option means. Yeah? I've given you that background. Okay? Now, I want to tell you that in the last days of the Mboya administration, yes, or rather in the days when the former President Mboya was surrounded by his enemies, foreign powers were against him, he created a Samson option. Okay? And this Samson option came out during the clashes. Okay? Because we saw terrible things happening in Kenya, mainly from the community belonging to Mboya. Okay? Now, I want to tell you that the developments in our country seem to suggest that there's another Samson option in the works. Okay? So we really need to pray for our country. I'm sorry I cannot explain that deeper than that. Jijazie mwenyewe. This is for really deep people. It is for your information. It is for those people who pray for our country. It is not to get anybody worried or panicky, because I believe God is in control. Okay? Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.